We are 160 miles north of Lima in the highlands of Peru, and we are here at the Chavin de Huantar, an important archaeological and cultural site. It was once thought to be the, quote, birthplace of a mother culture that originated in the Chavin region. This name itself is thought to have originated from the natural phenomenon in this area of the Andean Mountains, where two important rivers, as seen here, flow together and connect as one. We're at a high elevation for the area, almost 10,400 feet above sea level, and we are sitting between two extremely tall mountain ranges. The two mountain ranges, the Cordillera Negra, which are not snow-capped, and the Cordillera Blanca, which are snow-capped, are part of what makes this temple environment so unique. We can guess that it was built during the time range of 1500 to 300 BCE, one of the earliest of its type, especially in this region of the world. Let's move into the main temple. Here we are in the main temple of the Chavin de Huantar, which we can see can easily be split into two separate parts, one old and one new. The old temple is said to have been built around 900 CE or earlier, and we can see its defining U-shape. You can tell pretty quickly that this is the older side just based off the fact that it's less deteriorated than the other. The new part of the temple, just feet away, still shows sign of the culture that once brought it into existence. The new temple was built around 500 BCE, 400 years after the creation of the original temple. In this new temple, we can see the engraved details that defined the Chavin region's artistic style. The temple itself has no windows, and it's laced with interconnecting tunnels that archaeologists call galleries. Some of these galleries came together, and others were used as air ducts, for once people would travel deep inside. Archaeologists also believe that some of the tunnels had a percussive purpose, so people outside of the temple could hear the voices coming from deep within. As a pilgrimage site, it became a hub for artistic style. People who came would bring back pots and cloth with its iconic design on it. The temple is amazing to look at with its complex terraces that move into our space and stone ornaments depicting different zoomorphic creations coming out of its stone walls. We can see here the god that the temple was dedicated to in the Lanzon stela, a 15-foot-tall great spear when translated from the Spanish language that was once hidden deep within the intertwining galleries. People who were devoted to this god would be led through the labyrinth of pitch-black galleries until they had to come face to face with the carving's snarling mouth and ominous eyes. The great spear's shape illustrated the god's overarching powers to guarantee a successful year's harvesting season. Here you can really see his large, fearsome round eyes and his huge fangs coming from his oversized mouth. The deep cuts in the granite of the Lanzon could be proof that there once was a liquid offering made here. You can make out other animals in his shape, snakes and other big predators, which is part of the iconography surrounding that Chavin culture and illustrating its complex contour rivalry. The common Andean snake motif that's seen in the Lanzon can be traced into other, more public, aspects of this Peruvian culture's lifestyle, like in this nose ornament made for someone of elite status within the Andean community. The snake is powerful in its world, just as the person with wealth are in the Chavin region. This golden ornament would have been worn by pinching or piercing the wearer's septum. The snake's eyes remind me of the eyes in the deity depicted on the Lanzon. They're both big and upward-facing, another motif that seems to follow this culture around carefully. This piece was created by a unique technique of hammering the gold that was first developed in South America and then was dispersed up into the northern parts of the continent. Going back into the old temple, we can see that there are many relief sculptures and carvings depicting jaguars and various other anthropomorphic forms. The Lanzon Gallery, which is now the museum, located at the very center, contains the sculpture of the Lanzon, which is assumed to be the supreme deity of the region. When we go to the relief sculpture, we can see its deep carved lines, and we can assume that these artifacts have a design that are thought to be associated with Chavin rituals.